You're listening to B98.7 with Todd and Erin in the morning. We have the three most awesome people in the studio today. This is very, very exciting. Together they comprise Train, but separately they are combined of awesome, sunshine, and just a little bit of like truly disturbed evil. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you? Well,
wow.
Just a little evil. Not
Which one's that?
Pretty great intro.
Oh, I think, Jimmy, you know exactly who the evil part is. That's true. You guys, you have been insanely busy over this last year. Do you even remember what city you're in right now?
We haven't been to Salt Lake City in a long time, and it's about time we got here, but I just wish we could have done it after a few hours of sleep because I'm not going to remember any of this.
Probably not. Isn't it sad that you can't even have the rock star excesses of being like really drunk and stoned and then not remembering, but you're actually awake and sober and probably had orange juice and you're still not going to remember?
Yeah, that's more the truth. I mean, when we started, we don't remember that either, but that was during the drunk and stoned era.
That was also because you guys were getting paid in beer back then, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
we really were.
So
and now it's just exhaustion.
what is it like going from being paid in beer, and granted that was 1994 to now, but to being in a position where you guys can pretty much command anything you want? Your record label actually has to be nice to you. You can have backstage waivers. I mean, what is it like to be in this position now from where you were?
Did you hear that part about being nice to us, Jeremy?
I don't think we look at it that way at all. I think we've always just been these three guys. We're pretty regular people, and I think that the music that we make is for regular people. And we've just been real fortunate over the years to have gotten through the tough times and not broken up.
Let's talk about the tough times. How did you guys stick together during those times? I mean, seriously, you guys stayed together, and how did you do that?
We actually, we had a really hard time as a band for years where we weren't getting along. We didn't really talk that much, and we actually didn't enjoy any aspect of our career anymore. And that was before we took that 3-year break. So taking that 3-year break kind of healed the band. And we all just, when we got back together to make this record, we just really had a good talk and realized that we really appreciate and love each other, and we're really lucky to have this band. We're really blessed with this career, and
it was the last record.
That's what to make the last record.
Before the other one that was from
it's all blur.
No, I've heard
the record before this one, I think.
Yeah. If you're just joining us here on B98.7, we're talking to legendary now from many, many years ago, but finally now with financial and critical success. And it's funny, though, because when you guys were talking earlier, you mentioned you'd had like this guy from Island Records come in, man, we're going to sign you guys tomorrow. Columbia flew you guys out, and you performed, and you're thinking, oh my God, this is it.
What's really interesting is that next week we're going to shoot Behind the Music. Mm-hmm. And, I think for the first time when that came up, I thought of this band as a very interesting story. It's pretty compelling if you go back to the beginning, and, we were a band for about a year, and we got a lot of attention all of a sudden because we were a San Francisco band that could bring a lot of people into a club. And then all of a sudden, it was like, come out, man. All you got to do is show up, and you're going to get a record deal. And it didn't happen like that at all. And then once that happens, you almost have a big black mark on your forehead. And that's when you got to kind of either disappear or come up with a new plan. And that's why we didn't come out of Los Angeles, because we didn't want everybody to notice us right away. We wanted some time to figure ourselves out. And then in San Francisco, once someone says no, or anywhere in the world, if someone says no, everybody says no. And it's kind of the opposite. If somebody says yes, everybody says yes. So we just decided to make our own record. So we borrowed money, I think like $25,000. We made a record, and all of a sudden
really
people liked it. Our parents, they didn't think that they were going to get any of that money back.
And it's not like we paid them back with interest or anything. I mean, they don't own stock in the band or anything. So.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's very tender.
Yeah.
That's got to be painful, though, because your music is like a child. I mean, it's not like you're promoting somebody else's crap. This is your stuff. And so when someone like the head of Columbia goes, I don't hear anything special, that's got to be...
Oh, no, it was worse than that. It was, I didn't see anything special.
He just left. They just left. That was really tough, but it was good for us. Like a lot of these things, like when we look back on them, a lot of these really rough patches we were able to turn them into like growth patches, so I think that's the great thing, especially about Pat, because it's sort of his role being the leader of the band to like sort of inspire the troops, and And he was able, I know at that point, he changed his life in many personal ways and said, if we're going to get this, we have to be way better than we are right now. And so we worked our asses off and got a lot better than that point. We didn't really deserve a record deal at that moment. We weren't ready.
I don't know. You haven't heard some of the new people coming out recently.
Well, yeah. Times are different.
I don't see anything there at all.
It's a little different now. Like, I know that, there's a lot of great music, that's people are throwing up on YouTube and like these guys in their mom's basement are being discovered, and that's awesome. But it's also like, it seems like record companies are also scrambling to sign anything. Mm-hmm. Like, let's go, who knows what's going to work next? Like with bands like Gautier blowing up, like who knows what's next? Like the music is, like everything's kind of happening. Cool.
So you guys, when did the charity thing start with you? Because you've got
anyone who can combine good deeds and alcohol is like a personal friend of mine. This is so awesome. You guys have, and is it your own vineyard or just your own wine label?
Wait till marijuana's legal. Everybody's going to be a charity case.
Yeah, there's going to be a brownie line like you can't believe.
You'll make a killing on brownies and stuff.
No, but where did this come from? Because it's a gorgeous idea.
Well, a few years ago, we decided that one of the things that we have failed at over the years is bringing San Francisco to our fans around the country and around the world. And I think the best, starting at the top or somewhere in there of things that we value the most, the wine out of San Francisco is very lovely. And everyone around the world loves Northern California wine. So we decided, let's make some really nice wine, but reasonably priced. And let's not do it because we need dough. Let's do it because maybe we can combine that with helping a local charity in San Francisco.
So
and
who is that?
It's called the Family House, and we've been there, and it is so inspiring. I went there very grumpy, which is typically my attitude. And when we got there,
laughing too loud there, Jimmy.
Alexia, I think is her name. I think her name is Alexia. She is the head of it, and she said, "Oh, you're going to feel better once you see the kids." And I was like, "Yeah, I doubt it. I got kids. They don't make me feel any better."
Been there, done it.
So I went up there, and man, I was just like, what am I complaining about? These kids are going through such tough stuff, and their parents are from all over the country, all over the world, and they go to UCSF Hospital because they can do really beautiful work on children. So anyway, we decided to combine a little bit of alcohol with some goodness, and we try to do more and more and more of that. Like we did a week's worth of shows in San Francisco, and they were able to get some money out of that. And we did a big show once, and anyway, we just try to help them as much as we can.
I wonder if that's one of the things that comes back to you of how big you guys really are, though, when you see the power of what you did. Because this is a small charity. I mean, they're always going to be. They're not going to be as well funded as St. Jude's or any of the others. But I would imagine that after a week of focus with you guys and with the wine and with the shows, they must have an avalanche of donations and attention. Does that part freak you out that you can do that for something?
I think that's just what we were hoping, is that something local, you can actually see the difference. And something big like Red Cross, you just hope that it makes a difference. But we know that what we did, we presented her, the spokesperson, with a check for $50,000 on television while we were there. And it was a dummy check because it was given to us from, I think, we did a special show for like Sam's Club or Walmart or something. And so we had a dummy check from that, or from us, or I'm sorry. That was given to them. That was the real check. But we wanted to present a trained check to them, so we had to make up a false check. And so we presented her with the check, and she was like lost her mind.
On TV.
On TV.
Oh, I think I would have choked on my own tongue.
This is all on news.
Yeah, it's all on the news channel. And so she's like, gonna cry. And then when they shut the cameras off, I was like, Scott says, "Hey, that was kind of a joke, so we need that check back." And, and we were all like, "Ha ha 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 ha!" And I was like, "No, he's not kidding." And I took the check and I started ripping it up. And she goes, "Hi," and they were like, "Oh, we're just kidding. Here's the real check." And she was like, "I have to go to the bathroom." Yeah. It was horrible, but great.
Oh, if you're just joining us here on B98.7, we're talking to the gentleman from Train. If you haven't tried one of the varietals, one of their wines, it's pretty amazing. Now, the new guy, I haven't tasted. I did your Drops of Jupiter Chardonnay. What does the new one taste like? Besides awesome.
The new one is called California 37. named after our new CD, and it's my favorite. It's a Cabernet, and it's really, really nice.
Now, do you just go in and start mixing stuff together? Or
Well,
do they give you a
it's
choice?
interesting because with the first bottle, with the Drops of Jupiter Petite Syrah,
Oh, I thought it was the
they
Chardonnay.
had 6 bottles for me to sample from, and I'm just drinking and drinking. I was like, I like that one. The second bottle was the Calling All Angels Chardonnay.
Okay.
And we had like 3 or 4 to sample from. And when the Cabernet came in, they sent 1 bottle. And I was like, they must be really confident that they nailed this one. But I was a little nervous because, if it wasn't good, they were going to have to go back to the drawing table on it. But it's really great. They did nail it.
Is that so awesome having your own house wine? I mean, how many bands have their own house wine?
A bunch, actually. It turns out, yeah. I think Rolling Stone did a feature on it recently of Wines That Rock, I think was what it was called. And they did like all the top, and there was like 100 bands. I know Dave Matthews and Grateful Dead. Like there's a bunch of bands that make wine, but ours was ranked number 1. Yeah.
That's kind of
Very cool.
exciting. And another thing to taunt them with at the American Music Awards, and that's got to be awesome.
That's right.
Is there a big rivalry? Is there one band or another that you guys just kind of feel an edge with? I know you'd mentioned once that you were frustrated that you weren't as big
smiling.
as Coldplay, but you knew you could be.
Well, I think we used to be a lot more like that.
I think it's really the secret to having been successful again is, stopping that nonsense. Rivalries are fun when you're, on a company softball team, but when you grow up a little bit and you're like, look, we're all kind of in this together. The music industry is getting, beaten down by the minute. Right. Maybe we should learn how to appreciate one another as opposed to try to take each other's spot on the racks at Walmart, because the racks at Walmart aren't going to keep either one of us anyway. So maybe we should become fans of each other. Like we were just in Atlanta yesterday, and B.O.B. was there, and we've known him for a long time. And he was like, "Oh, Pat, what's up, man? I lost your number." He didn't lose my number. He just doesn't call me. But, I love what he does, and he's a fan of what we do. And it's just a new era of that kind of behavior, like Bruno Mars and all those guys.
You're all grown up now, aren't you?
Well, just, even the young kids, that's their attitude. They're teaching us how to do it.
Yeah, Harry Styles came out to a show in Manchester a couple weeks ago and tweeted about us. It's I think even the younger bands are supportive of each other and the older.
Yeah,
bands.
there was some like they call it trolling when people start hating on you, like on the internet.
Yeah.
So somebody was trolling on us on Twitter when we were in San Francisco, and the guy was like, "Here's a band I wish I could hate, Fun. Here's a band I still hate, Train." So I was like, "Hey, it's too bad, man, because it's easier to love whenever you're ready. There's room here for you."
Right.
And then one of the guys from Fun, because, they want to send to both bands. One of the guys from Fun is like, "Man, you got to quit hating on bands. That's a waste of damn time. Train's awesome." And then the guy was like, "So I'm sorry, guys." By the time the whole thing was over and fans were at him, we realized he actually works at Twitter. And he was like, "If either one of you guys wants to come up and take care of this in person and let me have it, my name's John, and you can come to." Yeah, it was really funny.
Get it over with.
But it's kind of the new era of like, man, Fun's not going to back the hate for Train and any more than we would back the hate for like somebody else. Everybody's doing their best.
By the way, I hate fun.
No, but you just hate having fun.
Oh, that's what.
All right.
So let's talk about the album, California 37. And 3 years in the making? Didn't I read that you guys were kind of writing songs and getting material together?
Yeah. While we were touring the last record, Pat's kind of a little crazy. So, when he goes home at night and we're all sleeping, he's like a mad scientist creating new hit songs. So you probably gave it like a year before you started writing again, I think.
I just have always written, and it's always been crap.
No, it's not.
And it takes years to get anything worth having.
You know, and what happened was we wanted to take a break after that record because we really
Save Me
needed one.
San Francisco.
Yeah, we needed a break. That was 3 years of touring.
Yeah, and it was intense. I mean,
very intense.
That was emotional. That was okay.
All
this
over
is
the
out.
world.
We're giving it everything here, and after a while, giving it everything's got to be a beating.
It was tiring
Stopped
because
giving it everything.
we had to rebuild our entire career around the world, you know, and we went into new territory that we've never been to before and start there. So it was a crazy 3 years. And then we just started submitting music to Pat, and he was doing his own thing, and we were getting music from outside writers and all this stuff. And then at the end of it, you know, we had a handful of songs, and our management and record label were like, these are so good. You guys are going straight to the studio. We got to get this thing out.
Oh, I want a vacation. I'm tired. I want to lay down.
I think Jimmy and I were the most vocal. We were like, what? Well, I want to take a break and drink some wine. But like, actually, it's a good idea. And then I said, why would we release a record so soon, you guys? Don't people need a break from Train? And then they reminded us it's been 3 years since you released
that's gotta be surreal.
Save Me San Francisco. And we were like, oh, yeah.
What's the nuance on the new one?
It seems a lot more playful, especially based on Drive By. I mean, Save Me San Francisco was very, you know, I don't know. It was very emotional. It was very fun. It was very rollicking. But I don't know. Drive By is very playful. It's very light for you guys.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to be a rock band and be on lots of different formats of radio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
because we've watched bands kind of in our genre either go completely pop or not go pop, and then they don't get played on the radio. So the balance of trying to be a rock band and get on the radio is very difficult. And then we're doing our best because we're doing it very sincerely. We're not trying to be pop or be on the radio.
I'm
In
sure
fact,
your labels tried to make you many, many times.
actually, not anymore. I mean, you know, like we went through a period where we tried to be on the radio and we failed. That's when we disappeared. We were like, radio, because really we were so not enjoying each other's company that the only time we were happy is if we were having success on the radio. So the goal became, let's get on the radio, because otherwise we're just not going to be psyched. Right. And then we decided before we made Save Me San Francisco is seriously, guys, we got to either, you know, we need to start over. Let's change everything and just get back to the three of us. And we asked everybody to leave. Bandmates, managers, everybody. And some people left reluctantly and some people left happily. And and so we're like, we got to either love this record or we're never going to be able to, you know, our fans aren't going to ever care again.
No,
and so we really loved it.
I got to ask, you know, I've heard this from a lot of different label reps that they've actually brought in marriage counselors, you know, when bands were going through a hard time. Did you guys ever have any, like, professional intervention? I mean, not the kind that drags you to the Betty Ford Center, but the kind that's like, tell me more about your feelings. Can you express to him?
No, we just...
You did it on your own.
You know, it's almost like we all had the same revelation at the same time, where we were like, the problem is we were going down the wrong track. We were so focused on success and fame and fortune, and it really kind of spoiled the fun of the whole thing. It ruined the whole thing. And originally we're really into music. We love playing, we love being on stage, and we love recording, and we love, you know, putting a good song out there. And that's what's important. And
boobs.
And jugs. But like,
that does tend to be the reason you get into the rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget boobs, bro. Don't forget boobs.
Winnebagos. Yeah.
But then, so now it's the kind of the classic thing of we're enjoying the journey rather than focusing on the goal. And it's changed everything for us.
All right, 3 quick questions, if I may, and then we have to hit you on the tour. Okay, first question from the fans: what's your most disgusting personal habit? And they said that Jimmy was going to be the first one to come up with one.
Really? Oh, why?
I guess
Do I have a disgusting?
it's on Facebook. She just assumed you were going to be more disgusting than your bandmates. I'm not sure.
really?
Why.
You are kind of.
You know,
gross.
I'll be real honest. I'll be honest with you. Like, as a person around these guys, we really don't have that kind of weird stuff.
Well, like
but
Chris Hemsworth, his wife picks his back acne. Harry Connick Jr. says he can eat his own he bite off his own toenails.
I don't want to know this.
see,
Just one.
you know, we have stories after every airplane ride because we usually split up on an airplane, you know, because we're together enough. But, you know, it'd be like, oh my God, dude, this guy was, you know, picking his whatever. He was flossing his teeth or clipping his toenails or something right next to me. Yeah. And like, we travel so much that I have become very vocal to people. and I try to
Please
just,
don't take off
I
your
try to
shoes.
just, anything.
Yeah, really? You're going to clip those nails next to me while I'm eating on the plane?
Wait, yeah,
Like,
there's a guy who was flossing, I think next to Jerry.
Somebody died next to our keyboard player.
Yeah.
That's true, too.
That's so
We've had
awesome.
While
strange
flossing?
airplanes.
That's just unacceptable.
That is so.
It's dangerous.
He went real deep.
All right, question number 2. What song makes you want to throw up in your mouth every time you have to play it? No matter how much you love your own music,
it.
there's got to be one song over and over in concert that
Man,
makes you want to kill yourself.
I got to tell you, I have one, and it's kind of new.
It makes you want to kill
It's kind of recent. And it's not the song's fault because, I actually love, I love all of our songs. Even a lot of them that didn't make records, I still love. But we've been playing this song, She's on Fire, off the Drops of Jupiter record for a long time. And we have like this new album, and we're so excited to play all the new stuff. We always are. And we've been putting together our new show, our new concert, and it's so great, and the set's so good. But every once in a while, when we do corporate private shows, we have to go back to a couple of the old standards, And we did She's on Fire last night, and I was just I almost threw up in my mouth.
You had a new bridge idea, Jimmy's bridge idea. Scott, you go into double time on the drums, and then Pat, you kill me.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to do that next time.
Yeah.
All right. Coolest thing you got? Because there's always eventually one point where you get like a little chunk of money. And what is the coolest thing you bought with that first big chunk of money? Like you finally got a check and you're like, I've always wanted to get this thing.
A divorce?
Nice. Okay. All right. Those are expensive.
Yes.
They are pricey. They are pricey.
Michael Bublé lied and told us that he bought a children's orphanage for his family, and they were all crying. And then he said, "No, I lied. I just gave him $1 million for Christmas."
Huh.
Which was probably a lie too. Yeah. Don't trust that Bublé.
That guy makes good money. He does arenas all over the world. He's a big star. I just paid off my credit cards. I remember Meet Virginia. Scott and I were painting houses, and I think I had $20,000 in credit card debt, and
Don't you have people who pay those things for you now?
I don't even know
They're
their
called wives.
I
also charge them and then pay them. For fun.
Yeah, we're $20,000 in credit card debt. Damn, I don't even have a credit card.
Oh yeah.
You do now, honey.
Yeah, we do.
What about you, Scott? What did you get?
My first really cool thing, I think my only cool thing was a Porsche.
Nice.
Like a Porsche 911.
911.
And I just wrote a check for it. But it was really stupid. I mean, I thought that money would just keep coming forever. I ended up broke.
What color? What year?
It was a black 92.
Did you stay there and pet it like a kitten?
Yeah, I would like slowly I would take my pants off and then rub my ass cheeks against it softly.
Yep.
And say, "Hello, baby."
Isn't there?
Yeah, I
How's
get
my
that.
baby?
I'm with you.
Let's go back to the credit cards. That was a little... All right. What about
I think
you, Jimmy?
there's a version of the My Private Nation record where there's some video stripped on the end, right?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah,
Scott
and-
walks everybody through
and
his
Scott-
house and his car. Every room that he goes into. This is
where
where
the
the magic happens. Then he gets
kitchen.
into the car.
Yeah.
This is where the magic happens.
He's driving over the bridge in his new Porsche, like singing at the top of his lungs. It's
across
pretty
Golden
funny.
Gate Bridge, yeah. That was fun.
All right. So the tour starts in the fall. You also
Actually, no, the tour starts in June. Are you guys
Does
up
it?
for this?
We've already been on tour. We just finished the European tour.
Oh, jeez.
And then next week we go to Australia and Asia.
that's right.
And then the U.S. tour will start in July.
And as a matter of fact, there's an announcement we can make, and that's the fact that you're going to be here in Salt Lake City on September 20th.
Galvin
job.
Center, very excited.
Galvin
Nice.
Center, nice,
I
really
did
nice.
not know that.
Really
That's
nice
great.
place.
I didn't know. Where are we?
Here.
You're gonna love it. It's a really nice open air venue, and everybody has. It's really nice.
Oh,
There's a
that's
lot
great.
of fun there. You guys, this is so cool. Okay.
We haven't played Salt Lake City in a while. When we were out last summer, we didn't play SaltAke City.
Yeah, and we did notice the oversight,
So
but that's okay. We
we,
weren't.
Glad you're coming.
we apologize and would like to blame anyone but ourselves.
Jeremy.
And that guy.
Are the wives all going?
All right.
Are the wives going on the Asian tour? The wives always go on the Asian tour. That's what I hear.
Why?
Is that right?
Why?
Your wives stay home from the Asian because the Asian tour is always the tour where you don't trust your husbands.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Is that true? You're all carefully looking in
No,
different
You know,
directions.
the truth is we're always so busy when we're on tour, I mean, there's really no time for trouble.
There's no time for sexy pants.
No.
No.
All right, that was possibly the best answer I think I may have heard. Guys, thank you. You were absolutely
You're
amazing.
so nice. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you. That was a really nice interview. The camera guy sucked, though.